Joe, obviously better on third down the last couple weeks. How big a part of that has Devon been? He's been sort of reliable, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's been getting the opportunities and taking advantage of them. Anytime you convert, it's a team effort. So protection, quarterback making the right reads. The routes that aren't getting the ball, running their routes correctly, so the spacing's right. And you never know where that ball's going to go, but he's been taking advantage and completing the plays when he's had the opportunity. So it's been good. It's fun to see the rookies develop and get more confidence, and everyone's trust in them grows. So it's good.
To follow up on Devon, who came in a little bit older as a rookie, does that maturity come through? Is that trust built faster just because he's old?
Yeah, I think that helps. I'm sure there's some older knuckleheads, but he's not one of them. So he's a mature guy by nature, and then obviously, like you said, he's quite a bit older. Having gone on the mission, and but yeah, right away you could kind of feel that this was he was a grown-up and went about his business the right way. If we got him at 21, would have been the same way. I'm not sure, but you definitely see it.
Coach, when you started that final drive, did you expect to lead the entire clock? Just how impressive was that?
You're hoping, obviously you can't really engineer that. I've been part of drives where the coach hey, we got to score with no time left on the clock because you don't want to give Mahomes the ball back, but that's easier said than done. So it was gratifying to be able to do that. Unfortunately, we didn't finish it out, but that would have been key.
We talked about consistency being one of the next steps for him.
Yeah.
I guess, have you seen a growth there over the last 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's just a factor of experience and going through the fire, learning your lessons, and I think we always want to write the book and say it's over and hey, we got it now, or he'll never be good. Whoever you're talking about, and it's a process, and you could be in the penthouse one week and the outhouse the next. So you're looking at trends, but it's all about the next play. And so we've seen it a million times where a guy's struggling and everyone thinks he's the worst and he has a great game, and now he's like he's figured it out, and vice versa. So that all that chatter and everything, you just try to ignore and know that hey, it's about this next game and about this next play. So
Estimé was your top ball carrier this last game. Is he ready for a full-time load that way going forward?
Well, I think if he keeps, running the ball like he did, it certainly appeared like that. He had some success early, and you ride the hot hand. But, we feel good about him. But, we feel good about Javonte. We feel good about Jaleel. But, he was the one that was kind of on the good end of the reps. And, you keep gaining yards when you get the ball. We keep giving you the ball. So, we'll see how it shakes out going forward. But, yeah, I think, he's a big, tough, strong guy, and those guys are built to last. So, yeah, he can definitely handle the carries.
What do you see when you look at their secondary? Obviously, Simmons is there, but Bates and Terrell as well.
Yeah, 2 really good safeties. I think, Bates has been one of the top safeties in the league. Same with Justin. Obviously we're familiar with him, and instinctive, good player. Terrell, one of the top corners in the league. And so, yeah, it's a strong group, and, we'll have our work cut out for us.
Joe, typically with young players, I would imagine you kind of feather them into things. With Bo's maturity, as you talk about each and every week, is there less hesitation to just give more and more to him because he's proven that he can handle this?
Yeah, we give him a lot.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of this offense. But, I think, he's one of those quarterbacks that you have trust in. Like he generally, I've said it a few times up here, he generally avoids sacks and doesn't turn the ball over. It's how he played college ball. It's how he's, for the most part played since he's been here. And, when you trust a guy like that, it makes it easier to call games and give him stuff because you just feel like, hey, this play will work, but he's not going to turn it over and he's not going to do something stupid. And so, I think there's probably older quarterbacks where you don't feel that way about, and I think that's just kind of the nature of his game, and we're lucky to have him.
When you have Cortland said something yesterday about him being sort of, feeling good and confident in a huddle. How much of when you talk about reps and experience is just hearing the call, giving it out in all sorts of environments, and that sort of allows you to be in a better rhythm of play?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I got a couple sons that are learning how to drive a car, right? And they're, seems like it takes them 10 minutes to adjust their mirrors, stuff that when you get experience, you don't even think about. And so as you're watching them, you're like, man, so many variables that happen in driving that as you get experience, you don't have to think about anymore. And I think, when you enter a new offense or a new league, he's transitioning as a rookie, there's a lot of stuff on day one that's, we take for granted maybe, but, for a brand new quarterback, it takes them a while to adjust the mirrors. And so just the more experience you get, just like driving a car, the more a lot of those little details aren't taxing your attention anymore. So, I just think it'll get better and better.
How are you in the passenger seat?
I'm sorry?
How are you in the passenger seat with your kids learning how to drive?
I'm good. My wife yells a lot, but I'm good.
How challenging is Atlanta with multiple weapons, good weapons, it seems?
It's the next challenge, Mike, obviously. But it's been that way for the last month. It feels like that. Kurt's playing well. He's accurate with the football. He's a veteran quarterback. He can get hot. Anytime, during the game, he's got multiple weapons. The running game's been special the last 5 weeks. They're averaging like 150 a game. Rushing the ball. They ran for 181, I think, last week against the Saints, along with London and Mooney and Pitts, the tight end. So it just seems like every team's got the same formula. The quarterback, the runner, the receiver. So it's the norm for us. Just having a plan to get it all stopped is the key.
What is it that makes Bijan special as a ball carrier, just as a playmaker in general?
Well, his physical traits. He can make you miss. He's tough. He's smart. He's got ball skills. So he's a threat. First, second, and third down. He's a great protector in the pass game. He's a special player. Obviously, he's young and it's a small sample size, but his talent is special and it's different.
After the Baltimore game, the next game's always key that you shore things up. What were some of the keys to you playing much better against each other?
Well, just moving on, right? And that's what you have to do in this league. That's now 2 weeks ago. That game's forgotten, and moving on fast and getting back to working and correcting, what you didn't do well in that game is key. It's never as bad as the score indicates from time to time. But just moving on and correcting things that you have to do better. In this league, it's usually a month of film study that you have to overcome, right? It's on tape for a month. So the things that you didn't do well against Baltimore, you had to obviously fix versus the Chiefs, and the same for this week, right? We didn't play perfect last week by no means, so we got to chase and fix those things also. But it's just moving on and getting back to your formula to play well, and that's rushing the passer, that's stopping the run, that's getting close in coverage, and that's challenging the quarterback, and that's our formula that play well in defense.
How did you think that PJ played with the club on Sunday?
I thought PJ played okay. Obviously, being out for a couple of weeks, that always hinders players' the speed of the game and just making calls faster and having a hand and a half, I guess you should say. But he did his job, and he'll play better this week, obviously, having time on task.
You had a couple of different stints with Justin Simmons, but to see him again this week, what did he mean to you when you were both coaching him and seeing him again this week?
Yeah, he was obviously a young guy when I was a head coach here, 17, 18. He's been a great Bronco, for a long time. He was one of the guys that played at a high level for a long time through the ups and downs. So, he loves this place. We love this place. He still lives here. We're in the same neighborhood. So it's a special guy. That's a great thing for this team, this club.
What is it when you face a team that has two backs that are so different? Yeah. Because Bijan is everything, and then Algier's kind of a power guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a challenge, obviously, but you don't change the way you stop the run. Your tackle plan has to be different because obviously with Bijan, he's everywhere. He is pressing the outside zone. He's spitting it. He's cutting it back. So he's a tough tackle, one-on-one open space. So you need volume to this guy to trap him and get him on the ground. And the big guy, BYU guy, I mean, he is a downhill runner, so you know where he's going to be, but it doesn't make it easy to tackle him. So the tackle plan, the mindset of tackling these guys kind of change. The strategy to stop the run doesn't change, but that individual, how he runs, that does change things.
Pat talked yesterday about just the way that they play with sort of one personnel grouping at a high rate.
Yeah.
With that, and then also so, I mean, is it sort of a unique challenge in terms of figuring out what they're going to do with all sort of out of the same look?
No, that's been around for a while. Obviously that goes back to Coach Shanahan and Coach Kubiak. It's the outside zone system, but they do a good job of using their personnel to look like other personnels. So even though it's 3 wides and 1 tight end and 1 back, they can make it look like it's 12 personnel. And they have a guy in London who can do those jobs for them. So that makes it a little bit challenging because they are in 3 wides, but it kind of presents like it's 12 personnel. So having some front adjustments to kind of conquer that is key, but it's been around for a while.
Coach, when teams go on the road, there's a lot of talk about silent counts with the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you deal with that when you're at home with having to deal with the noise when their offense is on the field?
We do practice crowd noise because we expect our crowd to be loud, obviously, especially on third downs. So we have hand signals, and we communicate through the noise to kind of make sure we're sharp on Sunday. But that's a great question. Yeah, we do have a system to overcome that.
You obviously have had to deal with Lamar and Patrick the last couple of weeks. Now you're dealing with Kirk Cousins. Entirely different kind of quarterback, but can be equally, even more so dynamic.
Yeah.
What are the challenges when you're facing a quarterback with him that, from the outside looking in, looks a little more limited?
Well, with Kurt, I mean, he's going to have a great plan. I mean, he's going to watch everything. He's going to be studied up. I mean, he's going to be on it, right? So, he won't miss very many reads. So moving the coverage a little bit will help versus him. But he's a NFL vet. He's very accurate. He knows pre-snap where he's going with the football. That makes it tough. The ball's off his hand fairly quick. It's so different than Patrick and Lamar. But every week you have different challenges, so you have to adjust your plan accordingly. But he's playing very, very well right now. So to get him stopped is going to be a challenge.
I'd like to begin by saying thank you to Coach Westhoff. I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to him on multiple levels. Technique, fundamentals, scheme. Really, when I ended up getting into the league, Mike and I worked together back in the day with the Jets back in 2007, and to get back together here over the last couple years and help shape this unit, which is arguably one of the top 10 in the league, has really been rewarding and special. And he's been a mentor, but most importantly, he's been a friend. And so I just am very grateful for the time. We'll obviously stay connected moving forward, but I just wanted to thank him for everything that he's given me. So with that, open up to any questions.
With Mike gone, you're there to take care of the field goal unit. Todd, what happened from your point of view, and things you're going to address there?
Yeah, there's a handful of things there, Mike. We all work together on it. Give them credit. There was an area there on that left side. You're making corrections continuously in this league. It's very, very dynamic. We've done that. We've done that over the past couple days. Coach Streif has helped out. He's played on all those positions. So just getting another set of eyes on it. And so, we're all a part of it, and we've made those corrections, and really looking forward to watching that come to life this weekend against Atlanta.
When you have, did you think leading into the game that you had had issues with pressure off the left side, or had they done a good enough job, leading up to that?
Yeah, so over the last couple of years now, we've hit over 145 field goals and PATs, and we've been very good at that. And so, that's on all of us as far as giving them some credit there where there was, some pressure on that side. And like I said, we've made those corrections over the last 2 days. I'm really excited about the energy and the resolve that our guys have. Obviously, you bleed for a while and then you get up to fight again. That's what this league is, man. It just keeps coming at you. The Falcons are an excellent football team. They've got a very good special teams unit. So I'm really, really excited to watch our guys in that 3-hour window put to life what we're talking about over the course of this week.
There's been a lot of attention specifically at Alex Forsythe from the outside. Have you had to have extra conversations with him this week, and how is he responding?
Well, first off, Alex is a tremendous football player. Love having him. He's a great teammate. We're all part of that. So even though that may be the isolated, hey, spotlight, we're all part of that. And so, yeah, we've had those conversations, and mostly it's been ball. Like, Alex just wants to get better, and we've got to do a better job of coaches of giving them tools to be successful. So I think putting that all together, I think I'm excited about the product that we're going to see moving forward.
Coach, when you have an offensive lineman playing, I guess, that wing spot, I guess is that you're conceding that if there is some sort of fire drill, you're maybe not going to be as effective as you might if that's a tight end?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is we want to protect. And if you look across the league and watching all these field goals, the majority of them are bigger men, right? We want to put our biggest guys in there to form this wall. So, yeah, you could have that. But here's the thing on that, man. Like, the operations nowadays are very, very good. You know, there used to be a day where that snapper was like a linebacker, and then the backup quarterback was, you know, the holder. But, you know, now with the efficiencies, the timing of it is very, very efficient. And so we just want to put our best people forward in that space.
Being that you're playing the Falcons this week, how do you reflect on your time as being the special teams coordinator in Atlanta, and obviously a tough exit mid-season when you ended up?
Yeah, great opportunity there in Atlanta. Worked with Coach Quinn, who obviously doing a tremendous job in Washington. Learned so much from him and that staff. Raheem was on that staff. So, you know, great colleagues there and mentors and guys that I ended up learning from. But, you know, that was, you know, two cycles ago, right? And so this thing is so transient, man. It's like, okay, that was a while ago. And so we're just focused on this Atlanta Falcons team, which again is a good football team, and they're a good special teams unit. So we'll be at our best, and I'm ready for our guys to answer the call.
Before the block, you had Bo Nix move over to that right hash. What goes into that decision of, like, do we want it in the middle, want it right hash, left hash, etc.?
Yeah, what goes into the decision is putting our kicker in the best spot to make the kick, and so that's what ended up happening there, and that was really it.
Was it a low kick?
No, I wouldn't say that.
With Mike gone now, does the workflow of your week change a whole lot, or is it pretty seamless?
No, it doesn't change a whole bunch. You know, we're kind of in our battle rhythms. There'll be a little bit of tweaks, but as I told the guys the other day, I mean, the structure and the terminology, really what we're doing, will remain consistent. And like I said, I know that play on Sunday, glitch, but we've got a good special teams unit. You look at any metrics, we're in the top 10 in any of these the categories that you look at, and so we've got a great group of guys, and looking forward to seeing what happens on Sunday.
Last one, Artie. Just this question about the hash mark. Is that the kicker's preference, or is that the unit's sort of preference?
We go to the kicker and say, hey, what hash? And that's usually how it works. So we take all those things into account, but primarily it's the guy that's delivering the football. We want him to be comfortable, and Will's done an outstanding job. I mean, you take away those two there, he's had a tremendous year, and so I'm looking forward to him going forward.